Number 10. Bees. Believe it or not, bees are alcoholics. Now, before you start defending them and saying they're just innocent little pollinators, these insects will gladly drink fermented nectar whenever they get the chance. After drinking, bees become disoriented and have trouble flying in a straight line. One bee reportedly got so drunk that it forgot it had wings and spent 3 days walking home. That's completely made up, by the way. But the best part is what happens when they try to go home. Bee colonies actually have guard bees standing at the entrance of the hive. And if a bee shows up drunk, they physically stop it from entering. That's right, bees have bouncers. And if they somehow sneak past security, they can spread the alcohol throughout the hive and cause problems for everyone else. So not only are bees alcoholics, they're also the type of alcoholics who ruin the party for everybody. Number 9. Reindeer. If you've ever wondered what Santa's employees do during the off-season, apparently, drugs. Reindeer have been observed seeking out and eating psychoactive mushrooms, specifically Amanita muscaria. And unlike some animals on this list that accidentally stumble into intoxication, reindeer actively go looking for this stuff. They know exactly what they're doing. Reindeer spend their entire lives in the Arctic. It's freezing. Everything is covered in snow. The sun disappears for months at a time. Honestly, no wonder they want mushrooms. In fact, the more I learn about reindeer, the more the flying story starts to sound like it was invented by another reindeer. Bro, I swear we were flying. Number 8. Birds. Most people don't know this, but birds are huge drinkers. In fact, every time you see a pigeon standing completely still and staring into nothing, there's a decent chance he's just thinking about his next drink. And unlike humans, birds don't even have to go to a liquor store. All they have to do is wait for fruit and berries to ferment. That's it. Nature literally makes the alcohol for them. And from that point on, they basically start operating on faith. They start flying weird. They lose coordination. They run into things. One group of birds reportedly flew straight into a police station and turned themselves in before they even got arrested. It got so bad that some places actually have rehabilitation centers for drunk birds. This one's real. Somewhere in Canada is a bird sitting in a recovery program because he couldn't handle a couple fermented berries. Get it together, man. Number 7. Fruit flies. Now, fruit flies don't get drunk because they found some fermented fruit. No, that would make too much sense. Fruit flies get drunk because they got rejected. Scientists discovered that male fruit flies that get rejected by females consume significant amount of alcohol. Researchers still aren't entirely sure why certain males get rejected. Some believe it's because female fruit flies prefer males with larger wings. Others believe it's because of pheromones. And some believe female fruit flies only date fruit flies that are at least 6 feet tall. Yeah, that last one is completely made up. I just wanted to see if you were paying attention. Number 6. Dolphins. Now, dolphins have one of the best public relations teams in the animal kingdom. Everybody thinks they're intelligent, friendly, playful, the golden retrievers of the ocean. Meanwhile, there's a pufferfish somewhere that would describe them very differently. Because from the pufferfish's perspective, dolphins are bullies, a bunch of thugs. What they'll do is find a pufferfish and start passing it around between each other. Not to eat it, not to kill it, just to bully it. The dolphins will lightly bite the pufferfish until it gets stressed and releases a toxin that, in the right amount, can have an intoxicating effect. Think about how insane that is. Honestly, at this point, somebody needs to start standing up for the pufferfish. Where's the ocean HR department? Where's the anti-bullying campaign? If this happened on land, dolphins would have been canceled years ago. Number 5. Tree shrews. Most alcoholics at least have rules. I only drink on weekends. I don't drink before noon. I'm taking a break next month. Not tree shrews. These guys are so committed to the lifestyle that sobriety is what concerns them. Every morning they head down to their local bar, the Drunken Palm. They take a few shots, complain about the younger generation, then head off into the forest like nothing happened. This is actually real. The alcohol comes from the nectar of a palm tree that naturally ferments. Basically, the nectar is packed with sugar, and once yeast gets to it, those sugars start breaking down and turning into alcohol. It's the exact same process humans use to make beer and wine. The only difference is that humans spent thousands of years perfecting it. This tree figured it out by accident. At that point, can you really blame them? The drinks are free. The bar is walking distance. I'm not saying they're right. I'm just saying I understand. Number 4. Chimpanzees. Now, at this point in the list, we're getting dangerously close to humans, and that's a problem. Because every time scientists discover something weird about chimpanzees, it usually turns out we do the exact same thing. Unfortunately, alcohol is no exception. Chimpanzees have been observed drinking fermented palm palm sap. Not by accident, not once, repeatedly. And that's the part that concerns me. Because once you start repeatedly seeking out alcohol, you're no longer a curious animal. You're developing preferences. At that point, I have questions. Do some chimpanzees think certain batches taste better? Is there one chimp who claims he can tell the difference? Is there another chimp who won't shut up about how the old palm sap used to be better? I don't know. But I refuse to believe alcohol made it all the way to chimpanzees without somebody becoming a snob about it. Number 3, lemurs. Now to be fair, lemurs already look like they're on something. I don't know what their sober face looks like, and honestly, I don't think they do either. These guys have been observed grabbing giant millipedes, chewing on them, and rubbing the chemicals all over their bodies. Scientists believe they do this because it helps keep mosquitoes and parasites away. Yeah, nice try. That's exactly the kind of excuse I'd expect. It's not drugs, bro. It's medicine. Sure it is. There was actually a period in the early 2000s where Madagascar suffered a major millipede shortage that humans eventually had to step in. According to local authorities, a small group of lemurs had gained control of the island's millipede trade and were aggressively expanding their operation. They were moving product across territorial boundaries, intimidating rival lemurs, and allegedly sabotaging researchers who were trying to monitor the situation. At one point, the government launched a major operation targeting several high-profile members of the organization. Dozens were arrested. Millions of dollars worth of millipedes were seized, and the leader, known only by his nickname Escobug, was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Number 2, wallabies. Now up until this point, most of the animals on this list have been messing around with beginner drugs. A little fermented fruit, some nectar, maybe a mushroom. Not wallabies. These Australians skipped all of that and went straight for opium. That's right, narcotics. Wallabies in Tasmania have been reported breaking into opium poppy fields, eating the plants, getting high, and then hopping around in circles. Now opium affects opioid receptors in the brain. These are the same systems involved in pain, reward, and pleasure. So when a wallaby eats enough of it, it's not just having a snack. It's taking a substance specifically designed to make mammals sit down, relax, and stop caring so much. Which is a weird choice for an animal whose entire personality is jumping. Imagine training your whole life for the Olympics and then discovering heroin. That's basically what happened here. According to reports, some of these idiots started hopping around in circles through the poppy fields. Then, after exhausting themselves doing absolutely nothing productive, they found a nice spot, laid down, and took an opium nap, which is still a better ending than getting eaten by a crocodile. Number 1, jaguars. Now every other animal on this list was looking for a good time. The jaguar was looking for answers, because jaguars have been observed chewing on yagé, a plant associated with ayahuasca. And if you've ever heard anything about ayahuasca, then you know we're no longer dealing with party drugs. We're dealing with the kind of substance that makes people disappear into the jungle for 3 weeks and come back with a podcast. Now, nobody knows exactly what goes through a jaguar's mind after taking it, but judging by the way they act afterward, it's definitely something. They roll around, they stare into space, they look completely disconnected from reality, like they're trying to solve a problem the rest of us can't even see, and maybe that's because they are. Maybe for a brief moment, the jaguar stops thinking about food, stops thinking about territory, stops thinking about survival, and starts thinking about something bigger. Or maybe he just got really high. I don't know. But there was reportedly one jaguar that took the stuff, looked directly into the camera, and said, "Subscribe to Thinking Out Loud."